to my channel. I'm coming to you every week with a creative video, and today I will show you the makeover of my hallway with many DIY projects. It was a much bigger project than I thought at the beginning, like about every time I do some DIY, and it was quite a lot of work. We were about 5 days busy with it, and I'm very happy that it's done, and I'm very happy with the result. The hallway has a bit of odd shape, and it's not only the place where we come in, leave all our shoes and our jackets, which makes it very messy all the time. It's also the place where we walk through to go to the kitchen, to go to our craft room, and so we walk through that room about 20 to 30 times a day. But first, let's look how it was before the makeover.
Welcome to our hallway. As you see, there are many jackets and shoes and a lot of other stuff. Since a long time I want to change this place, but I didn't know what and how do I want to do it. So finally we're gonna tackle it this time. This grey shoe cabinet I think is really ugly and we don't use it. The mirror is so old, and the chair and the table, I don't like it anymore. So everything will change. So this is the plan for my hallway makeover. I always make a collage when I make a restyling of a room. That gives me an overview, and I see if it works what I think I want to do. So this was my inspiration picture, and the main accent color is this dark green. I bought this color and painted the accent walls with it. And as you see, there's a lot of white, black and white, and natural beige color. I was lucky to find an arched mirror in the on Facebook Marketplace. I will make a shelf myself, and my daughter made a stool some years ago at school, which I want to use. I'm going to paint my shoe cabinet and hang new blinds that I hope will come in time, because I ordered them. So let's have a look in how all this process went on in reality.
First we had to clean out the room, of course, and then I painted the wall in this dark green color. I really love the color, it's beautiful, but for some reason, and maybe it's because it's so dark, the color, I had to go over 4 times, and that was really annoying and disappointing. And after the 4th time it wasn't even perfect, but I let it how it was, because I think it will not change to any better. So that was the wall. But let's have a look how this went.
After painting the first part, I thought I want to paint also this part of the room and give it more color to it.
The next DIY is an upcycle of a really old shoe cabinet I bought maybe 20 years ago at IKEA. Let's have a look how that went.
So this is the shoe cabinet from IKEA from a really long time ago. I think like this here, they don't sell it anymore. I took everything away, and then I started with a good sanding, because it's not wood but kind of plastic foil on it. So first I have to prime it and then let it dry for a day. The primer stinks really very much, so you have to ventilate well the room. And when that is done, I can start painting. And this fresh paint makes this cabinet like new again, which makes me really happy that I can reuse an old cabinet for this hallway.
You know, when you start redoing a room, you always see other stuff that is not good enough, that is damaged, that is really time to upgrade. So I saw all the woodwork of the stairs. It was really ugly, so we had to do it over again. Let's have a look.
So as you see, this woodwork is chipped off the color. It's a bit yellowish and not well painted, like the wood comes through. So I painted with the same white paint I did the cabinet, and a fresh layer of paint makes such a difference to this woodwork. I'm so happy we did it. Even it costed me one more day to do, but my husband helped me a bit. That was great. Really nice. My husband helps with painting the stairs. So when you start working on a room, you always see more things to do. So one thing is this board. In between the two floors, they put a wooden board, and that is not the same color than the wall. It's a bit gray, beige, and I think it's really ugly. So we're gonna paint this also. What? And it goes all around, whoa, over here to this side. All white.
I was so happy that I found on Facebook Marketplace an arched mirror, which was quite big. And they are really trendy now, and I love the shape of it. So I found it for 20 euros and I picked it up, and which is really great that we still have Facebook Marketplace, because everything is closed in the Netherlands, like everywhere. We are in a total lockdown. The thrift stores are closed, the other shops are closed. So that was really a great way to get some new stuff, and that I can upcycle. Let's have a look how I upcycled this mirror.
For the hallway, I bought this mirror from Facebook Marketplace, and I think it's really gorgeous and beautiful with the arch, but it's a bit damaged. It has different holes. Here is a screw that goes through the mirror, and here it is damaged too. So I will first fill the holes and then give it a very good sanding, so all the color gets off. This crack here is really bad, and I have to glue it with some wood glue and let it dry. To recap the material, I used some wood glue and wood filler for it, and a lot of sanding paper. I sanded it about 5 to 7 times, as you see in the coming clips. So, to recap, this is the original color of this mirror, and I sanded it down, and it is now this. It is still a bit reddish, but much more lighter, so I like it already much more. But as you see,
in the wood there is still some paint or stain from previous owners, and I don't get it out with sanding it, so I would need a kind of steel brush, but I don't have it, and the shops are closed, so that's a bit the problem. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do, and unfortunately I filled the holes with wood filler. They are smooth, but you see them. You always see them. So I want to paint them with acrylic paint in the good color, so they are not so visible anymore. And at the side, I have also some holes that I filled. So still a few challenges to go. So I want to sand it down again, and then have a look how it's gonna be.
At the end I decided to whitewash the wood, the frame of the mirror, and I really like how it turned out. This is the first time I do this. I use 1 part of this wood paint I also used for the cabinet, and 2-part water, and then just put it on and wipe it off again. And I do this 2-3 times, and I really love the result. It's exactly what I wanted.
Step in finishing the mirror is I have to arrange something that I can hang it, and I will use these screws with an eye. So unfortunately, I don't have a workshop where I can work with heavy tools. I don't have heavy tools like miter saws and whatever all these machines are called. So everything, when I do something with wood, I have to do it with my handsaw, and I have to do it in my kitchen. Let's have a look how I made this wall shelf, which is really easy and I love it. This project is for the hallway is a wall shelf. I'm gonna make this from this piece. I'm going to cut twice 50 centimeters. Unfortunately, I don't have fancy heavy tools, and I have to saw it with my handsaw. It's not really nice, and it's hard work, but happily this piece of wood is not so big. Now, it's a bit hard work, but it's done in 2 minutes. Now I have to sand it down, smooth out the edges, smooth out this thing, I don't know how it's called, the bleeding from the wood, and I'm going to whitewash it like the mirror. So I sanded down all these pieces, and also the edges I sanded so that they are a bit round and not hurting anybody. And here also, so it looks quite okay. Even I measured 5 centimeters from the top, and this is where I will place the bottom of this piece of wood. I will put it, glue it with wood glue, and then I put some 2 screws from behind to secure it. So I carefully make a hole in the bottom of these pieces of wood so they don't split when I put the screw in it. To glue it down, or to secure it even better, I use some wood glue on the top of this one. So look at this. I'm very proud at this little shelf. It works just perfect. From an online Instagram shop who sells thrifted items. I bought some hooks. Now let's look how they are. Yay. And she writes a lovely note. Her account is Vintage Paradise. I will link it down below. And the meaning is to hang these evenly, of course, here for hanging the keys. So I marked where I have to screw them down, but first I'm going to paint this one, this little shelf, and then I will screw them to it. So I did not like the color these hooks were, so I spray painted them black with this metal spray paint. And they have to dry now. I think they are much better now. I used the same mix of watered down paint and going to whitewash it. It's hanging, and this one too, but it's not finished yet. So in a hallway you always have these corners that are messy, that stuff is stored that you don't want to see. Because the stores are closed, also the hardware stores, I cannot go and buy some big piece of wood because I want to cover the part under the stairs. So I have an old what's the word? It's a room divider. I had an old room divider. I painted it some time ago in colorful patterns, which I don't like anymore. So I painted it back white, so we don't see it. It's not really a nice thing, but it's useful. So I painted it white. The best part of making over a room is styling it. So let's have a look how this went. Many years ago I bought this thing, I don't know how it's called, in France on a flea market. I think it's originally used in to put water in that is, I don't know the word, which is in a church, like holy water or something like that. So if you know the right word name, please let me know. We used it a long time in our bathroom to put soap on it, but now it's not used since several years, and I thought it would be nice to put in the hallway. Like here, to put a candle on or put some keys in it. It's a fun decoration piece, but we don't like the light green color, so I'm gonna spray paint it with the same matte black spray paint. And then I will mount it on the wall. I'm really so happy how everything looks like now. The only thing we have to cross fingers is that it stays organized. It doesn't get messy. I don't know if that works. Because when you have a family with 2 teenage girls, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But thank you so much for watching. Please let me know which part you like the most. What would you do differently? Or maybe you have some good tips for me. Leave it down in the comments and don't forget to subscribe. Till next week, thank you for watching. Bye bye.